Corper Ada, an active young lady, arrived in a remote village for her National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) posting. As she resumed her assigned local secondary school, she quickly noticed the students' struggles with English. But the students were all curious and attracted to her because of how beautiful her skin looks and how fluent she speaks compared to other teachers. The SS3 students, particularly intrigued by Miss Ada's unconventional teaching methods, began to flood towards her. Her charismatic personality and innovative approach captivated their attention, drawing them closer than just teacher-student interactions. And because Corper Ada is determined to help, she introduced them to extra lessons in her lodge, a unique method of helping them faster. Miss Ada's extra classes became increasingly popular, with the SS3 boys eagerly anticipating to visit her after school and weekends. They found themselves drawn to her intelligence, dress sense, and the way she challenged their minds. Miss Ada, sensing their admiration, enjoyed the attention, finding herself drawn to their youthful energy and happiness. However, the line between teacher-student and mentor-student began to blur. Late-night study sessions at her apartment became a regular occurrence, fueled by intellectual curiosity and a growing sense of intimacy. The late-night study sessions moved into something more. Corper Ada, despite her reservations, found herself succumbing to the temptation. The boundaries she had initially set crumbled, replaced by a passionate affair with several of the top-performing SS3 boys. First, she introduced them to adult videos just to make them want more. At first, the students hesitated but were later swept away by the sight of the videos, the pleasure they felt while watching, and the intoxicating experience. And before you know it, they were sleeping with her already. She further broke her extra lessons and sessions. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is for the general lesson, which the school was aware of. Then 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. is for her romance boys. She made sure they come in different sets of 5 boys at a time till 7 p.m. without getting tired. This continued for the whole of first term, and obviously their academic focus shifted, and was replaced by the excitement of their forbidden romance. Their grades reduced, and their futures jeopardized by their infatuation with their teacher. But no one noticed. The principals, teachers, and parents kept praising Corper Ada for her good work, because many students improved in their grades, especially girls and few boys that came for their extra classes by 2 p.m. But in all these, Miss Ada and the boys carefully guarded their secret, living a double life. During school hours, they maintained a professional facade, while after school, they indulged in their illicit affair. The secrecy, however, added a layer of excitement and danger to their relationship. The boys, fueled by their newfound confidence and the intoxicating power of their forbidden romance, began to exhibit rebellious behavior, challenging authority and disrupting school routines. Their academic performance continued to decline, raising concerns among the school staff. Soon, rumors began to circulate about Miss Ada's unconventional teaching methods and her close relationship with the SS3 boys. Whispers grew louder, fueled by gossip and speculation. Some teachers expressed concern, while others remained skeptical, dismissing the rumors as fake. Miss Ada, initially unconcerned, began to feel the weight of the growing gossip. The pressure of maintaining her facade while indulging in her forbidden desires began to take a toll on her. But she didn't stop. The worst came when the second-term holiday came. She used this opportunity to lure other boys into her romance, especially SS2 boys, knowing fully well that the SS3 boys will leave in no time. And because she lived alone, no one suspected. They felt the students were drawn to her due to the value she gives to them, not knowing she has sex with them every day. As the new term began, Corper Lucy was assigned to the same local school in the village. She takes SS 1 to 3 on CRS and biology. The student, as usual, seeing someone totally different from what they see, loved Corper Lucy. But just in the first week of resumption, she noticed that the boys are totally different from the girls in terms of behavior and concentration. Lucy, determined to help them become better before they moved to the university, decided to observe and study the boys' behavior carefully. She notices their lateness, their declining grades since first term, and the secretive glances they exchange with Miss Ada. And from all she learned, these whole things started since Corper Ada came into the picture. Lucy secretly interviews other teachers and students, gathering information about Miss Ada's teaching methods and her relationship with the boys. She finds whispers of late-night study sessions, unusual gifts, and a growing sense of unease among the school staff. Armed with her observations and the growing evidence, Lucy confronts one of the boys, a quiet and introspective student named Chitty. The first 3 days was a war for Corper Lucy because he refused to talk, but on the 5th day, Chitty breaks down, confessing his involvement with Miss Ada. He reveals the intoxicating nature of their relationship. From the adult videos she made him and 4 other boys watch, the sex romance she did have with all of them, and the devastating impact it has had on his studies. Lucy, shocked and concerned, reassures Chitty of her support and urges him to confide in his parents. She promises to help him address the situation and get back on track with his education. Chitty's confession sends shockwaves through the group of boys. The others begin to realize the seriousness of their situation. They realize that their actions have not only jeopardized their futures, but also caused immense pain and disappointment to their families and teachers. Guilt and fear begin to consume them. They worry about the consequences of their actions and the potential for infections and exposure. The once exciting affair now feels like a heavy burden, a constant reminder of their mistakes. When the news of Chitty's confession reaches Miss Ada, she refuses to believe the allegations. She insists that her relationship with the boys is purely professional and that their academic decline is due to other factors. However, as more boys begin to confide in Lucy and other concerned individuals, the evidence against her mounts. The school principal, alerted to the situation, begins to investigate. The school principal, a stern and respected figure in the community, conducts a thorough investigation. He interviews students, teachers, and even parents, gathering evidence to support the allegations against Miss Ada. Miss Ada, facing mounting pressure, maintains her innocence. She attempts to manipulate the situation, casting doubt on the credibility of the witnesses and accusing Lucy of harboring personal grudge towards her. The evidence against Miss Ada continues to mount. The principal discovers a series of incriminating text messages between Miss Ada and the boys. And adult video histories on her phone browser. These messages, filled with flirtatious banter and suggestive language, leave no room for doubt about the nature of their relationship. Miss Ada, cornered by the overwhelming evidence, finally admits to the affair. However, she attempts to minimize her closeness, claiming that she was merely a victim of the boys' advances and that she was swept away by their youthful enthusiasm. Even with emotional testimonies from the boys, their parents, and concerned teachers, Miss Ada, represented by a lawyer, mounts a feeble defense, attempting to portray herself as a victim and downplay the severity of her actions. The board, after careful consideration, decides to terminate Miss Ada's employment with immediate effect. They got her arrested and sentenced to 2 years, 6 months imprisonment. They also recommend that she be barred from teaching in any educational institution in the state. News of the school board's decision spreads through the community like wildfire. Public opinion is divided. Some residents express outrage at Miss Ada's behavior, condemning her actions as a betrayal of trust and a violation of professional ethics. Others, however, express sympathy for Miss Ada, arguing that she was unfairly targeted and that the boys were equally guilty. The community is left grappling with the moral implications of the scandal and the long-term consequences for all involved. Miss Ada, disgrace and humiliation, did not only shatter her reputation, but also left behind a trail of broken hearts and shattered dreams. The boys, facing the consequences of their actions, are suspended from school for weeks. Their parents, devastated by the scandal, struggle to come to terms with their children's involvement. They seek professional help for their sons, hoping to guide them through this difficult period and help them rebuild their lives. Lucy, despite her triumph in exposing the truth, is left emotionally drained by the ordeal. The threats and intimidation she endured have taken a toll on her mental and emotional well-being. She struggles to cope with the aftermath of the scandal, haunted by the images of the suffering boys and the devastating impact on the community. Meanwhile, after the 3 weeks of suspension, the boys return back to school. Driven by a deep sense of remorse and a desire to make amends, dedicate themselves to their studies. They seek guidance from other teachers, spend extra hours in the library, and participate in community service projects to demonstrate their commitment to personal growth and positive change. One of the boys, Chitty, who initially confessed his involvement, emerges as a leader, encouraging his friends to stay focused and support each other. He becomes a role model for other students, demonstrating the importance of perseverance and redemption. Lucy, with the support of her fellow teachers and a compassionate therapist brought from the nearby town, begins to heal the students from the emotional trauma they endured. She made them participate in support groups, brought different engaging and creative activities to take their minds and emotions off the daily romance. And gradually they started to regain their sense of self and purpose. She also becomes an advocate for student safety and well-being, working with school administrators to implement stricter policies on teacher-student interactions and providing support to students who have experienced similar trauma. The scandal serves as a wake-up call for the school. The administration implements stricter policies on teacher-student interactions, including mandatory training sessions on professional boundaries and ethical conduct. A new counselor was also hired to provide support to students and address any concerns related to mental health and well-being. The school community, as a whole, becomes more vigilant in monitoring teacher-student interactions and ensuring a safe and supportive learning environment. And in a few months later, Chitty graduates from high school with honors, getting straight A's in his final exams and fulfilling his academic potential. He delivers a moving, impactful speech during the graduation ceremony, acknowledging the challenges he faced and the importance of overcoming adversity. He dedicates his success to his friends, his family, and Corper Lucy, the woman who helped him find his way back. Lucy, almost getting closer to the end of her service and a respected member in the community, continues to advocate for student safety and well-being. She mentors young teachers, sharing her experiences and emphasizing the importance of maintaining ethical boundaries and prioritizing the best interests of their students. 2 years after the scandal, some of the boys, now young adults, visited Miss Ada in the prison, seeking forgiveness. Miss Ada, humbled by her past mistakes, accepts their apologies and expresses her deep regret for the harm she caused. This act of reconciliation marks a significant turning point, allowing them to begin the process moving forward. And in 6 months, Corper Ada was released from the prison and sent back to her state to face whatever life has for her. The story taught a big lesson to speak up when something unusual happens. And to the parents and school authority, it taught them to never allow late-night meetings with children and adults, or with teachers and students. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more.